Over the past few months, I've been asking this community what's putting the most pressure on them right now. And honestly, the answers weren't surprising. Rising food prices, economic uncertainty, the cost of everyday essentials, and for a lot of people, this growing feeling that things just feel unstable. And I think one of the biggest challenges right now is that many people know they should probably be more prepared, but they feel overwhelmed. They think preparedness means building a giant homestead, spending thousands of dollars, or filling an entire room with emergency food. But honestly, most families don't need that. What most people really need is a simple system. A practical way to create more stability, a little more flexibility, and a little more breathing room when life gets unpredictable. Because preparedness today isn't really about fear. It's about reducing stress, lowering dependency, and regaining a little control over your future. So if I had to start over today from scratch, this is exactly how I would build a simple food system in the next 30 days. Week 1. Build the foundation. When most people think about food security, they imagine massive stockpiles or expensive freeze-dried buckets stacked to the ceiling. But if you're just getting started, that usually creates more overwhelm than progress. What I would focus on first is building a simple foundation using affordable foods that are easy to store, easy to rotate, and foods your family already eats. Because the goal is not to build some giant emergency stash that sits untouched for 10 years. You're building a buffer. A layer of stability between your family and uncertainty. If I had to start over today, the first thing I'd focus on would be inexpensive core foods that give you the most flexibility for your money. Rice would absolutely be near the top of that list. It's inexpensive, stores well, and works with almost anything. I'd also add beans, whether canned or dried, depending on your budget and what your family actually likes to eat. Next would be pasta. It's affordable, filling, easy to prepare, and something most families already use regularly. Then I'd focus on simple breakfast foods. Oatmeal, cereal, pancake mix, and peanut butter. These foods are inexpensive, calorie-dense, easy to rotate, and they help create a sense of normality during stressful situations. I'd also make sure to include canned proteins and canned vegetables. Chicken, tuna, soups, green beans, corn, foods that can either become complete meals or stretch other meals further. And one of the easiest habits you can build is simply grabbing 1 or 2 extra cans every time you go to the grocery store. But this part is important. Don't build your food system around survival foods that you never actually eat. Build it around foods your family already uses. That's what makes this sustainable long term. Because once you begin stacking even a few extra weeks of food into your pantry, something interesting starts to happen psychologically. You feel less pressure, less panic, less dependence on what's happening at the grocery store this week. And honestly, that peace of mind is one of the biggest benefits of all of this. Week 2. Build simple meals. One of the biggest mistakes people make when building food storage is focusing only on ingredients and never thinking through actual meals. Because eventually you look at a pantry full of rice, beans, pasta, and canned food and start asking yourself, okay, but what do I actually make with all this? So instead of thinking in terms of random food items, start thinking in terms of simple meal systems. For breakfast, keep things simple. Oatmeal is one of the easiest and cheapest options out there. Add peanut butter, honey, fruit, or powdered milk, and now you've got a filling meal that's inexpensive. Cereal is another easy option, especially for families with kids. Shelf-stable milk or powdered milk can work great for longer storage. Pancake mix is another one I always like to keep around because it stores well and feels like comfort food when life gets stressful. For lunches, focus on foods that are quick and require almost no effort. Canned soups, crackers, peanut butter sandwiches, canned chili, canned ravioli, or other shelf-stable meals. Because realistically, if the power is out or life gets chaotic, simple matters. And for dinners, focus on versatile combinations that stretch ingredients further. Rice and beans is one of the most affordable and dependable meals on the planet for a reason. Pasta with sauce and canned chicken can create quick-filling meals with very little effort. And simple skillet meals are another great option because you can combine rice, canned vegetables, protein, pasta, and spices using whatever you already have available. The important thing to remember is that we're not creating gourmet meals. We're creating flexible meals that work under both normal conditions and stressful conditions. And once you begin thinking in terms of meals instead of just ingredients, the whole process starts feeling much less overwhelming. Because now you're not just storing food. You're building a practical system your family can actually live on. Week 3. Build resilience and redundancy. Once you've built a basic pantry and simple meal system, the next step is building resilience into your food setup. This is where you shift from simply storing food to creating systems that help your family function normally during stressful situations. Because preparedness today really isn't just about asking, "Can I survive?" It's more about asking, "Can I still function when life gets difficult? Can you still make meals if the power goes out? Can you still feed your family if grocery prices spike again?" That's where redundancy becomes incredibly valuable. One of the first areas I focus on is freezer backup. Having extra frozen meat, vegetables, bread, or even simple batch meals can create a huge amount of flexibility for your family. And you don't need a massive deep freezer packed floor to ceiling. Even a small amount of extra food in your freezer creates margin. A few extra pounds of meat, frozen vegetables, extra bread, or a few meals you've already cooked ahead of time can make life much easier when money gets tight or unexpected situations happen. I'm also a big believer in convenience foods. Not because they're always the healthiest option, but because convenience matters when people are stressed. Protein bars, trail mix, canned meals, crackers, peanut butter, instant foods, comfort foods your family already enjoys. Those things help reduce friction during difficult situations because morale matters more than most people realize. Now the next thing I strongly recommend is having a backup way to cook food. And it doesn't have to be complicated. A simple butane stove, propane camp stove, backyard grill, or some other backup cooking method can completely change your situation during a power outage. Because food storage without a way to prepare food creates its own set of problems. And while we're talking about food, I also want to briefly mention water. A lot of these foods require water to prepare, and water is one of the most overlooked parts of preparedness. Even storing a small amount of extra water and having a simple filtration method puts you ahead of where most people are today. And ultimately, that's really the goal of all of this. It's not about trying to prepare for every possible scenario. It's about building layers of resilience into your everyday life so your family can continue functioning when life becomes stressful or uncertain. Week 4. Create a rotation system. Now once you've built a basic food system, stocked some simple meals, and added a few layers of redundancy, the final step is probably the most important part of all. Rotation. Preparedness only works long-term if it becomes sustainable. What usually gets people into trouble is when they panic, buy a bunch of food, throw it into a closet, forget about it for a couple of years, and eventually end up throwing half of it away. That's not preparedness. That's just expensive clutter. The goal instead is to build a system that naturally integrates into your everyday life. And one of the easiest ways to do that is by following a simple principle called FIFO, first in, first out. When you buy new items, place them toward the back of the shelf and move older items toward the front so they get used first. It's simple, but that one habit alone can save you a lot of waste and money over time. The next habit I recommend is also incredibly simple: buy one extra. Every time you go to the grocery store, grab 1 or 2 additional items your family already uses regularly. Maybe it's an extra can of soup, a jar of peanut butter, a bag of rice, pasta, or oatmeal. You don't need to build everything overnight. Small consistent progress adds up surprisingly fast. And over time, your pantry slowly stops feeling like a temporary emergency stash and starts becoming a normal part of your household system. Preparedness works best when it becomes part of your normal routine, not something driven by fear or panic buying every time there's a crisis in the news. And before we wrap this up, I want to talk to the people watching this who are thinking, this all sounds good, but money is really tight right now. You don't need to build everything at once. You don't need a giant pantry overnight. You don't need expensive equipment. And you definitely do not need to go into debt trying to prepare. If money is tight, focus first on the basics that create the biggest impact. Start with core calories like rice, beans, pasta, oatmeal, and peanut butter. Then focus on water. After that, focus on easy meals your family can prepare quickly during stressful situations. Then focus on a backup way to cook. Because preparedness is not about doing everything perfectly all at once. It's about slowly reducing vulnerability one step at a time. And honestly, even a small buffer puts you ahead of where you were before. A few extra meals, a little extra water, and a backup way to cook can dramatically reduce stress during uncertain situations. So don't get caught up in fear. Focus on building simple systems that create breathing room instead of stress. Because over time, those small practical steps compound into something much bigger. Less stress. More flexibility. More confidence. And more resilience when life gets difficult. So let me know in the comments below what foods or systems have helped your family the most. As always, stay safe out there.